For this particular session, we have all been considering a corner of our room, and I have actually spent some time doing this drawing as a preparation for the session. It shows a corner of my room that we live in, and I've tried to keep it relatively simple in terms of the objects within the composition. So the main focus initially was on this chair and establishing its relationship with the architecture. So I started by putting in this vertical line here, and it's a useful aid in referring to throughout the drawing itself, so you can relate how it hits the chair, what the distance between this point, which is a corner of the wall at the back, and the big window frame here on the left, what that distance actually is, how much I've shown of it. And then from the corner, I've related that to the sideboard here and the picture, which I've just shown a small part of. So it's useful to have a fixed line which you can always refer back to in the course of your drawing. It's called point relationship, so relating one point to another point, relating the bottom of the leg to the back of the chair. And before we embark on the actual drawing itself, it's very useful to check the measurements by obviously holding out your pencil, lining up the pencil with the back of the chair, and running your thumb down till you get to a point that you can then compare to another point of the chair. So I established that from here to here, the relationship between that measurement there and the front of the seat and the bottom of the legs, this is about 3/4 of the height of the distance here. So that's a useful measurement to establish at the beginning, and then checking the width of the chair, in reality holding your pencil out again and lining up one end of your pencil and running your thumb down to the other side and comparing that with the from the seat to the top of the back of the chair. So you're constantly relating points to each other and checking what the relationship is in order to get correct proportion, and that's very important right at the beginning. The position that I'm in is I'm sitting down, so I can see obviously down into the chair. I can see the top of the table. I can see a sort of a slither of the top of the sideboard, and I think that's probably sufficient. Then there's also the lines of the floor, which I included to give a sense of space in the foreground, and these angles of the floor mat and the window frame and how they relate to the actual chair itself, where they hit the chair. That's useful information that can always be brought into the drawing. I'm going to stop at this point.